You are going to heaven? Jesus replied, Very truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again, born of water and spirit. John 3 3 to 5. I had known the couple for a long time. Both the husband and wife were longtime Christians with professional careers. As they lived not far from us, they would come to visit us from time to time. One time, they visited a little after sunset, and we had a conversation about faith in the Lord naturally. The wife said how she longs for heaven the more she ages and how she must go to heaven. At that moment, her husband was greatly surprised and asked, You? You are going to heaven? Perplexed and dumbfounded, all of us stared at him because he was obviously thinking otherwise. When he noticed her cold look, he closed his mouth. My husband and I were also in a panic, trying to find a way to handle the sudden awkward atmosphere. Silence hung for a moment. The wife must have thought she should do something as she got up and said that they should go home. Having her worried and disturbed husband walk before her, they went back. I could imagine how they must have fought when they got home. The next day, around the same time, the husband came back alone. His wife must have really lashed out at him the previous night. Yet, he came back because he felt as though he must say what was on his mind. He began, So yesterday, my wife said she will go to heaven, right? What an absurd wish she has. If the place she goes to is heaven, then which one is hell? Furious, he continued, Well, if she makes it to heaven, I'm not going there. Never. We sat quiet and listened. He continued on to confess how difficult and hard his marriage was. Not long ago, in fact, the wife had also confessed to us that her married life was painful. Both of them agreed on one point. They had chosen the wrong person to marry. The husband criticized his wife's character. The wife criticized her husband for being incompetent, yet overly friendly and considerate toward others. After a long time of venting all of his complaints, he calmed down somewhat and said, Well, my wife is very talented and has a lot of strong points. You know how she is always praised for being good at everything. But in truth, she is not generous or meek. She is not kind. That's why all kinds of problems occur in our family. She's been a Christian for a long time now, and she teaches the Bible so well. But my question is, why isn't her character changing? For me, it's a different story because I'm just good for nothing. But my wife, on the other hand, is supposed to be a Christian, so I don't understand. Why is she so selfish and cold? And when she mentioned how she was going to heaven, it just upset me so bad. How could I possibly ever wish to go to heaven knowing that she may be there too? This is what happens when a couple looks at each other. They can understand and bear with each other's faults only when they turn their eyes from each other to behold together the direction the Lord suggests to them. Beholding Jesus means to think about the life and character of Jesus. When one immerses himself in thinking about Jesus, he forgets about the other's flaws and the regrets they have towards each other. No matter how long one has been a Christian, he is bound to focus on people's faults and weaknesses when he spends his time thinking about people. As a result, what comes out of his mouth is what he has had on his mind all along. I wished that this couple would think only about Jesus. My husband and I are no different from them. If we forget about Jesus, even for one moment, we're instantly back to our bad old habits of criticizing and fighting with each other. Then, when we remember to focus on Jesus, peace finds its place back in our heart. After a number of these similar experiences, I am fully aware of the fact that I am not complete or perfect myself. And because I know so well that it takes just a blink of an eye for me to forget Jesus and fall, and that I am helpless without Jesus, even at this moment, I am also fiercely battling against myself to think not about man, but only about Jesus.